Well, thank you very much. I had my mic muted that entire time. That is some classic one-man show kind of situations where you have to do everything. You got to do the production, you got to do the talking, and you've got to do the spectating as well. Well, hopefully, as we've seen the league table, we understand who's top, who's bottom, and who is in between. We will have Caldwell University versus Post University. And I'll talk about my little storyline that I'd already mentioned, but we'll go over it again since we have some time. The game has yet to start between these two squads. I'm HDPhilly B, of course, your friendly neighborhood caster, here for Post University. When last these two teams met, Caldwell pulled off an incredible reverse sweep, winning the set 3-2. So Post University will be looking for some payback in this series tonight, with both squads having their eye on the first ever CACC Marvel Rivals Finals, which will be played next Friday. And some other esports news from around the league. Post also played Caldwell in the semifinals for Rocket League in the CACC, where Post won that series 4-1. I know we have some folks in the chat cheering on the Rocket League boys that maybe are playing a double dip in terms of which titles they play, which is all fine and good here in the CACC if you've got that talent in your school roster. Yes, Denny, the boss of them all here in the Eagle Roost, looking good there. We've seen the tournament bracket as well, so we know how that one is shaken out. And we'll head back to me here. What's up, Post University fans? This is going to be an exciting one, especially because the last time this one went the distance. I'm expecting there to probably go to Game 5 as well. Some adjustments between some of those squads. I mean, that was Week 4 the last time these teams met. So definitely going to change. I mean, some new heroes and things like that. The way the game has changed a little bit. You might go for the revive meta. You might go for triple support, 2 tanks, 1 DPS. Might go for 1 tank. We saw that in their game last time, where just 1 Vanguard out there. It was the Groot being a mainstay in this composition. So we will see. Denny, yeah, in the league table, there's your picture from Discord there. But we do thank you, Denny. I know he has casted a few of these Marvel Rival matches here as well. We're still waiting for one more member of Caldwell University. Like I was mentioning while I was muted, they received a new slew of computers here, so they're getting those updated and installed with the Marvel Rivals, making sure everything is set and ready. This is the semi-finals after all. You want to make sure everything is in operating order. I was doing that myself right before the stream. My memory was being compiled and compressed so tight that I couldn't even open 2 things at once. So definitely have to get that ready. We're seeing the likes of Matt X, Able Juicer, Crate J, Dreyush, I think it is, and Original Moon so far in the server here for Caldwell. Just making sure. Sometimes Denny will text me while I'm on the stream. But on the other side, some mainstays. I'm seeing ADHD here as well. I get my Discord up on my 3rd monitor. ADHD goes by a couple of different names here. I'll pull up that roster. It's probably one you know and love. All right, get my roster ready for you here. There we go. Okay, ADHD is AKA Shadow on there. I don't see ST Glitch though so far, so maybe they're in class or have an exam or something like that. So we will see if they pop into the server. I mean, this is could potentially be a long series. It is a best of 5 after all, right? So first to 3, however you want to slice it, that is where we will go. Looking for the different maps. I don't think we'll start off with T'Challa here. I think they'll be going random first. Let me type in the chat and see what's going on. Oops. my hotkeys, X is one of them, because I don't feel like I never use X, but apparently I used it that time and it switched the screens on me. So it's all part of the process. If you have your favorite hotkeys, let me know, and I will make sure to change mine up after this. So we will have that good and ready for you. If you have a favorite Marvel Rivals character, put it in the chat. Let me hear you. I'm a strategist main myself. Been playing a lot of Loki recently. I know a lot of people out there have been picking him up. He's a really good support, has been since day one. We might be seeing that out here today. I know a lot of folks, if you're watching Marvel Rivals Fight Night on Thursdays, a lot of folks have been playing Loki Luna, Loki Invisible Woman, depending on the bans and the saves go. Yes, Koala is you lady. Though I don't see them in the server just yet. Yeah, definitely you need to have some extra nomikers in the back pocket if that is your true name you want to go by. Always got to make sure it's PG sometimes. The main thing I was gonna pull up here as well is the YouTube. As Post University, we put all of our matches on YouTube. So I was gonna pull up the match from week 4 between these two squads, give a little bit of indication of what we were running between them. Just have to find it here. You know, I had everything up and I texted Koala. I was like, hey, my stream just crashed and everything died. As it goes with OBS. So I had to work on my memory issues right before this. So okay, we're just waiting for one more member to get in the server here. It looks like they are just about ready. In the meantime, still trying to find that one match. While I do that, maybe we'll switch over just to go back to the tournament bracket. It's a nice graphic made for this one. Wild that everything has them so neatly organized, and yet I still can't find it. I'm not sure why, because I was just looking at it the other day. Okay, looks like we do have a sub coming through. Thank you, Denny, letting us know that Glitch will be subbed out here for Shadow. Folks, I'm going to put it back to the Be Right Back screen as we're getting this last member in. Oh, wow. Thank you, Potato Man. We appreciate the raid. We appreciate the emojis as well. Creeping in on us here at Post University. We got the CACC semifinals coming up for you in just a moment. I think we are just about ready, actually. We have the final member. Princess has joined the server here. And when we are looking to go in, I believe Domination. We're going to the Royal Palace first here. I do love Domination. It's a good way to get your fingers loose, your hands warmed up, as it's basically just team deathmatch. You know, it is still a hero shooter at the end of the day, so you have to worry about the objective, right? But, I mean, it's just a giant point. Just throw your body on the line, try to absorb as many bullets and abilities as you can. Get that percentage accruing for your squad. Caldwell saying they are cooking something new here in the chat, wanting to go to Domination first. So we'll see how they set that one up. Maybe they have something, a little bit of trickery. I mean, that's kind of the shtick here of Marvel Rivals, is there's no role lock, no role queue, right? So if you want to play 6 Vanguards, you certainly can. Are you going to win? Probably not. But that doesn't mean there's almost infinite possibilities, right? With so many different combinations and characters. They might have found something that someone else hasn't tried yet, right? I feel like at this point in the game, it's been out for 4 months or so. You feel like most folks have found out what is good and what is not. I mean, we've seen the Hela, we've seen Bucky, we've seen Namor. Those have been kind of the tried and true DPS. Looks like we'll be doing the bans now. At least for the CACC, we do it a little bit different here than what you might see on, you know, channels such as Marvel Rivals Fight Night and things like that. We do saves first, so both of the teams go into chat, they decide what saves they want, and then from there, we do ban. So, I'm a bit quiet. Okay. How about now? Here, I maybe tilt my mic in. There we go. Like I said, not a production I don't know, you're not talking. Oh. No, we'll talk about some serious things. I'm a caster by trade. Been casting for many, many years. Not a production expert, but I am learning. Putting my knowledge to the test here. My 1s and 2s. Getting on the mic, getting on the OBS. So I apologize if I, you know, fall flat-footed on some of those areas. But I promise you, once we get into the game, the casting will be sound. It'll be music to your ears. Alright, Denny is the boss, so maybe I gotta crank the volume all the way up here. I just don't want to blow out anybody's eardrums because it's a little bit hard to tell, and we're on a little bit of a delay as well for the stream, so. Okay, looks like we will have Caldwell saving Magic, and we will have Post saving Bucky. Makes sense. 2 very good duelists in their own right. Magic, a great diver into the backline, can burst down squishies quite easily, and if your team is not communicating effectively, she can be in and out of there in a flash, and you're gone. 2 strategists. On the flip side, Bucky has one of the most crazy ultimates I've ever seen in any game, just with again and again and again, can be team wipe capabilities. And also has great pick potential from the backline. I mean, that revolver, yeah, it has 3 shots, but man, can it hit. And with the reload mechanic of using your abilities, I mean, you can almost infinitely have that thing go. If you put the rocket in as well, that can certainly help. We do have some more bans coming through, but we'll save those for when we actually get into the custom match, so we can surprise you there, but let you know the saves ahead of time, so you guys can cook in the chat what you think these 2 compositions will be, you know, button heads here on the Royal Palace. Very interesting to see what these squads go for. I know on Domination, triple support is very effective, right? You want to sustain supports, strategists, whatever you want to call them. The most impactful characters in the game, they need to stay alive. They need to be on the map. Getting those ultimates is crucial. I mean, the fate of two worlds, you can just stay alive forever. You can't die when you're in that ultimate. So making sure your Luna stays alive, you can use that to counter, such as the Kraken impact coming out from Bucky, things like that. Really key on these domination areas. It looks like, folks, we are going into it. It is time for some Marvel Rivals. Let's do it. Not sure if this is the stream delay or what, in terms of why that is not going onto the screen. Oh, jeez.
Pick your hero or villain. I'm not judging. Seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Venom? I've heard stories about you and the chaos you cause for countless spider heroes.
Stories only tend to tell half the truth, little one.
So you never tried to eat Spider-Man's brains then?
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
How about I switch things up and make our opponents disappear?
Feel the pull! Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Anyone willing to help? Feeling fantastic. Vortex field. I'll put this
Capture the mission area!
clear the way.
Okay, well, there we go. I figured it out. And that is what it's all about here, folks, as we are hopping right into the action. A couple members down there for the side of Caldwell University. Moon doing their best to stay alive there, but immediately gets picked out and taken down. Dissident dismantling the opposition. There we go. Now we are cooking, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are going for it.
Hostile ahead.
Jeff the Land Shark, not one you see every day. Going for a little bit of this pick composition from the top. Waiting for one target to get low here is Caldwell before they make their engage. There we go. This is the view we want to see. The Kraken Impact is in. Armed and dangerous here is the duelist from Post University. That's 2 down. Can he find a third? No. Used the jump pad to great effect, however. Gets himself back to the rest of the squad unscathed. With a bunch of eliminations in his pocket. Goes for the fist. Missed just barely.
We are undefeatable!
Soul Resurgence now in for the side of Mantis. That is Great J. Dark Child, though, in order to counter that, and it is almost a wipe here. Dissident still remaining on the point, getting the healing from the backline. The Scarlet Witch as well, putting in the damage.
We make a good team.
My friends are here! You'll have to keep fighting against the whirlwind. Control seized. This is natural anger. Goodbye.
Okay.
That's better.
Oof.
Lights out. Us against the world.
Engaged by the Cloak and Dagger here. Meteor M is suspended as well. Post University wants to take this. They want to take it now. 99% on the board for them. If they flip it, they win this map. This woman putting down the barrier for herself. That way she has a little bit of opportunity to toss in those healing orbs. Bucky extremely low. The healing not able to come through. Scarlet Witch deals the healing now. The barrier has been laid down, and that will be a turnaround here for the side of Post University. Control lost. The overtime wick is now burning for the side of Caldwell. They put Princess onto the board, but it is the tank that needs the support, and Able Juicer has been juiced themselves. Squished down and sent back to the spawn room doors. The bubble expended here by the Cloak and Dagger just to put a little bit of extra healing. I'm seeing a Squirrel Girl in the server as well, ladies and gents. But here is the Meteor M. Corrals people into this side hallway there to go down. A number of assists from everybody on the side of Post University, and there it is. The sub-map taken by the Eagles. Whew. Okay, that volume was cranking in my headset there. All right. There we go. Now we're in a very good round there for Post University.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
On ancient forces to aid us in this battle.
This is a very interesting composition using the Scarlet Witch. That's not one you see in kind of the higher levels of play, but Scarlet Witch excels at finishing off eliminations. If someone gets low, she's able to target them. You cannot miss, right, with her right click. And then if you need to have a little extra burst damage, you lay in one of those, crimson bolts to take them down.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
The ultimate there as well. The Chaos Explosion really does corral some teams into corners, or if they're unorganized, they go to the winds, and then you can pick them off like birds in the sky one by one. So very interesting pick here from ADHD. Like we were talking about in the middle, or the start of the program rather, going for that one tank strategy, especially with 3 supports at your back, it's going to be tough to go down. You just have to target, but immediately with the Kraken Impact, that's turning the tides of the fight. Oh my gosh, just cleaned up. They took the mop to him, and Caldwell couldn't even touch the point before they have to go back to the spawn room doors.
They captured the mission area.
That is Torrio on the Bucky. Like we were mentioning, that was going to be one of our highlighted players and one of those highlighted fighters here in Marvel Rivals. Just showing once again, somebody needs to nerf that ability. It is too dang strong. Caldwell looking for their way to aggress, this time switching over to the group, but Groot cut off by the rest of his team. The comms clean though. Now it's the Swirl Tsunami just launched into the backline. Everybody scattered to the winds. The other thing to mention about the Scarlet Witch is that it allows Magneto to go for this extra ability, right, with the Crimson Slash. And that helps him keep his range, keep people at a distance. And you saw him, he was just slicing and dicing there. able to take down multiple members. There's Speedyburn off to a blistering start, able to just find Crate J in the back line, and they're already down a member coming into this engagement. Folks, if we remember that week 4 match, it started very similarly. Post University was crushing it until the tides turned. The momentum went in favor of Caldwell. So yeah, maybe they're not doing so hot right now, warming up, but that doesn't mean they can't turn it around. Here's the Meteor M slammed right into the land shark. Oh my goodness. The brutality, man. Back to the endangered list he goes. The Cloak and Dagger has to expend their ultimate, but they're okay with that to hold on the point for Post University for now.
Mutants always rise again.
Our foes have found us.
It was a bloody exchange there to hold that point, but here is the Chaos Explosion in the hands of ADHD. They're going to be looking to let that one fly if Caldwell is brave enough to aggress onto the point. And engaged by the Cloak and Dagger here. I'm keeping it on ADHD and waiting for them to do it. A Scroll Tsunami launched in from Able Juicer as well. And there's the Chaos. It does get one. The Princess goes down, but they already expended their ultimate, so they're going to be okay with that, even though the Light Force, Dark Force combination left the battlefield. Now they're looking for some folks out of position, and it is the Bucky. The Soul Resurgence now expended by the Mantis to keep the rest of the team alive. There is Alvi just sleeping on the job. They're trying to get back into it now. The Cloak and Dagger putting in what we call the Discord Orb, and they find an elimination. Can't escape the grasp of the Dark Force. There it is, the tempo from Turo. He was on 12. There it is, he's going crazy in the back line. No ultimates to counter that one. 3 form, can he make it 4? He does. 5, don't do it to him, and he does.
3 down.
Oh, and the emote to boot, the high fives as well, and the celebratory Kraken impact to close it, and emphatically Post University takes the first map of this semifinal series 1-0.
Another epic victory! Big win!
I'm always a fan of giving the play of the game to the tanks. DPS, they got it too easy with some of those ultimates and abilities. Tanks always, able to take the space, trying to stay alive the best that they can. Dissident with 29 eliminations, leading his team. Doing an incredible amount of damage, almost mirroring Turo. And then 15,000 damage blocked as well. Matt doing his good impression as well, 15,000 blocked for them too. The coordination for Caldwell will have to be a little bit tighter. They're going to try to unravel this knot, this coordinated team that is Post University. We'll be heading back into the main lobby to figure out what match we will go to next. And we'll transition to me. Hello, everybody at home, everybody in the crowd. Switch over to the tournament screen. Boom. Okay. Okay, there we go. I am back where I belong. That was really well done there from the side of Post University. I was expecting that 3 in the back, 1 tank, 2 DPS lineup, and they executed that to perfection. Some desperation plays there from Caldwell, trying to go for a 3-3 with 3 DPS, 3 supports, just trying to, damage their way through, kind of just overpower the single Vanguard on the opposite side, but they couldn't do it. That's a kamikaze kind of attack that they were going for. Maybe that's what Matt was saying in the chat when he was talking about cooking up something on domination. I am not in the chat. Why am I not in the chat? Sad. It's a sad day when things don't work as you plan. Why am I not in the chat? Not in chat. Alright, we'll see. The teams are deciding now what they want to do next. I believe Midtown will be the next one we will go to. We'll take a look at the standings here as we are in our semifinal match. Alright, well hopefully that fixed if some things were cut off. There we go. That looks better. I can't get into the chat, so I don't know what's wrong there. In chat channel. Oh my gosh. Alrighty, well, I think I got myself back into the chat channel. Always something. Like I said, I'm not a technical person. I'm just the speaker, trying to juggle it all. Alright, folks. We are heading into it. Midtown, our convoy map for the evening. As a reminder, this is a best of 5, aka a first to 3. Gotta update the score as well. There we go. Post is up 1-0 so far in this series. They're looking for a clean sweep in this one. Don't want it to get turned around on them. We are already into the bans. We see Magneto being banned out by Caldwell. They definitely said Dissident was dissecting them too much there in that domination match. And then on the opposite side, taking out the Wolverine. We do see Storm. I mean, Storm has just been banned in any competitive game you've ever seen. And then Magic being taken off the board. We know that's one of the tried and true characters for the side of Caldwell. They were utilizing it in previous games, so definitely taking that one off the board. Right now, ADHD hovering over the Strange. It's usually kind of the go-to switch. If Magneto's not on the board, you go over to the Strange. Shields are just too strong in this game. Just being able to mitigate damage, taking all that spam off the board. We're looking at post-university.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
A 2-2-2 composition here so far for the Eagles. Love to see the Captain America on the board, or in the battlefield rather. One of my favorite characters in the game. Just has a lot of great mobility. They've been buffing him steadily each and every patch. Eventually he'll get to where he needs to be. For now though, Dissident switching over to the Thor. Probably the better dive tank of the two. Unless you're playing Venom. Venom incredibly pesky, and out the gates they go in game number 2 here of our CACC semifinal match. Dissident taking a flank around the outside. Oh, right into the back line he goes. Can he get Juicer? Almost. The Mjolnir almost getting the Squirrel Girl down. Nobody's turned here to find and to take the danger. There's a nice sedation from the side of the Mantis, but look at all the space created, and he gets back to his team. They take that corner so well, and there is Bucky as usual finding first blood in this engagement. Dreyush gets revived, and he's back into the kill feed immediately. Speedyburn with a nice acorn slingshot picks out one in the back line. Matty X, he's got to be careful here going against the God of Thunder into the back line. He goes as well. Gonna take a look from the support angle, see what they're taking a look at here. As steadily the cart moves, and an early squirrel stampede, right? The tsunami coming out here, as well as the see ya later tether from the side of the raccoon that's giving them that extra bit of damage. Rocket, he can pelt it in. Maddie with a nice explosion there of dark energy. He gets a couple people down, but on the back end, Speedyburn running through him. The squirrel tsunami does it better for him. This cart will be rolling now. You can take a forward position. Here is Post University covering both of the choke angles. And there it is, an easy 0.1 checkpoint for the side of the Eagles.
Ooh, a touch of healing.
The 2-2 composition working for him really well so far here.
Force burst.
We'll see what ADH does. He's got a ton of dark magic, expends it there, and it's the Kraken impact. Where is the Kraken impact? There it is. Got one down. And the hook's in the tank. There is Matty X. He's going to be doing his dangest to stay alive. Has to expend the shield. Good peel, though, from the side of Caldwell to keep the tank up. Dissident, he gets discorded there. Leaves Ebony Princess to her own devices, and she gets eliminated. But it's Dreyush executing folks here on the Punisher. That was a triple kill for them. He stems the Bleeding Forest squad. They're able to hold here on the middle of checkpoint 2. Speedyburn, we've seen them. They have the Squirrel Tsunami. There they go. They decide to let it fly. Only ultimate to go against it is the See Ya Later. That's not going to cut it against that amount of damage, and that gives Bucky the space to find some kills. Dissident on the back of that one as well. He crashes in the back line, and they dismantle him. Just the change of pace here from the side of Post University allows them to crack the defense. There's going to be one more fight here for the side of Caldwell on the end of point number 2. They're going to have the Soul Resurgence from the side of Crate J and the Mantis to keep them up in this one, though a number of ultimates, mainly the Kraken Impact, will be what I would use here for the side of Post, kind of force out that support ultimate, but they use it to engage here is Caldwell. We'll take a look from the Mantis and see what they do. Dissident almost gets down, but he flies back to the rest of his squad. The Eye of Agamotto knocks a couple souls out. They combination it with the Kraken Impact. They do find one, and it is Ebony Princess who does go down. Mantis is able to stay alive out of the danger so far. ADHD, though, he is sticking to the point like glue. He cannot be dislodged. The hand of Khonshu rains upon the heads of Post University, but a little too late. Does get 2, but it doesn't even matter. Checkpoint 2 goes the way of the Eagles.
The Sorcerer Supreme returns.
Better stop that vehicle.
Still, the cart keeps rolling. 3 minutes and 40 seconds in the bank here for Post University. They pick out Matty X, who is by himself. He's going to try to retreat to that health pack, but I don't think he'll get there in time. They're bullying and bodying him away for that. He goes for the Ascend, and he wiggles out of that one.
It's now or never. Stop them. I'm trying to help. Crazy, you're going.
ADHD rooted in place for just a moment, and Maddie somehow survives. Drayush, he switches over to the Hela. Could be a good choice there. The Eye of Agamotto expended, but I think only connects onto one, but that is enough. 2 members go down for the side of Post University, and that push is over. Change the camera angle again. That's one thing when you practice casting so much, not the camera, you forget that when people die, you gotta change it. Nobody's changing it for you out here. Oh my goodness.
Better.
Able Juicer with a 2K there, just one grenade exploding into the backline, takes down 2. Post University will have to wait here. Crucial seconds taken off the clock, but this is the patience that you see from these coordinated teams. They're not just going to run in there when they're down 2 members like you see in quick play matches and things like that. You need to group up as 6 to take these fights. It is the co-op time, the Cloak and Dagger initiation here from the side of Post University. Now the rest of the team will follow in its wake. Oh, they tried to counter it and get the knock out of that support ultimate, but it was not to be. They do have to expend it, though. A nice hook and onto the Mantis. That's a huge pick off there from the side of the DPS that allows him to go in for the Kraken Impact. He gets 2 off of it again and again. He goes like a carousel of death. He's finding elimination after elimination. He's looking for Drayush, and he gets him. Off the back of what a crazy ultimate that Kraken Impact is. You can see how aggressive and how forward they can play off of that. Matty X can't touch the cart. Herbie, he'll be calculating this one all the way home. And Post University, they cap all 3 points with more than a minute 41 on the clock.
0, 2, 3. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
Well done there from Post University. If you're a Caldwell fan here in the chat, you're going to be looking for them to figure out what to do against this Kraken Impact. They have to hold on to some support ultimates. They can't just be using them willy-nilly. Something like the Internal Bond might be better. Soul Resurgence, definitely a good way to counter it. You can keep a couple people up, do a little bit of extra damage yourself. This time on the attack, we have Able Juicer switching off the DPS, going to the Penny Parker. Not always known for her offensive capabilities. Really good on the first point here of Midtown.
Well, you are stretched thin lately.
I do miss the jailbreaks. I'll call Drax. You're a sweetheart, Mantis.
We'll see. A forward hold, and Dissident will be piloting the Groot here.
The
Battle starts in 5.
Puts a cheeky little wall right above the spawn room door. Let's see what he decides to do with that. He might throw the bomb there and allow like the whips to do some of that damage. Able Juicer, all those mines they so crucially and carefully put down, just dismantled immediately. Bucky gonna have to be really careful there, but a nice angle is being taken, but ADHD just strayed a little too far forward, was not able to get the healing, and they get taken down. Hooked in is the Groot, and both of the front lines, the Vanguards, are down here. Now it's time for Caldwell to make their advance, maybe a bit of hubris for the side of Post University. Groot and Doctor Strange, not the fastest characters in the world. Now on full retreat here are the Eagles. There's ADHD, finally able to regroup with the rest of his squad. Another hook in this off angle. The sedation comes through, but it's not enough to keep Crate J alive. That allows ADHD to take the space here. Both of the tanks back in, the iron wall put down, but gets destroyed quickly. Punisher, great counter to Root, and a Groot rather in all of his walls. Maddie on the Punisher, he's just laying in the cover fire. He's expending his final judgment. He wants to execute as many members as he can, but he has to find them first. The Squirrel Tsunami will do a couple bits of damage. He can't be CC'd out of that ultimate though, as he has the golden box around his health bar. There's the See You Later. You were looking to maybe combo that with the final judgment. Unfortunately, that didn't come online quick enough. Still, ADHD staying alive, uses the Ascend, but not getting the healing. But there it is in the nick of time with a sliver of health. He lives. Gets hooked in, unfortunately. Still, space being continued. Continue to bleed here for Post University. Uh-oh, the Kraken impact. We've seen we can do it, but stunned out of it. A great sleep dart there from the side of Mantis to keep him out of that ultimate and getting the value that we know he can. Still towing the line here is Post University. They're throwing all the bodies onto the point that they can. Oh, Caldwell, they are going to want to have that one back as the visible barrier expended after the fight was already lost. Or won, rather, for the side of Caldwell, lost for the side of Post University.
I am strengthened for battle. I have not seen so many spiders since...
ADHD, once again, taking that forward aggressive area, trying to expend the dark magic. Does get the damage, but that is quickly healed up here. Penny Parker doing their best as well. But still, Post University continue to bleed meterage. The spider time here for the side of Caldwell University. That's Able Juicer looking to squeeze the life out of the opposition, letting down the spider webs and the landmines, but the Squirrel Tsunami here is good. Another final judgment from the opposite side. It's Matty X looking to put in the fireworks, but using the architecture to great effect here is Post University. They're not going to let that one take them down. And it's Alvi who gets first blood in this engagement. Now it's distance time for the Spiders. The Kraken impact as well here from Bucky. And there's just elimination after elimination. That forces Caldwell back. They expended a lot in that fight and didn't get a lot out of it. They're going to have to look for a different way to crack the defense now.
Good medicine.
ADHD constantly towing the line. Every time I feel like they're about to die, they get the healing just in the nick of time. The See You Later now expended here for Rocket Raccoon. Can that be the damage burst they need to crack open this defense? Still using this corner to great effect here is Post University. Well coached, well practiced. The Eye of Agamotto could be huge now. They just have to find their way into it. A desperation play from Matty. He expends the final judgment, and he gets taken down immediately. That opens up the door for the Kraken impact, and there is 2 gone for the side of Caldwell. Another invisible boundary expended here for Caldwell University. They're going to want that one back.
I am strengthened for battle.
It's spider time!
Oh no. Able Juicer gets webbed up and focus fired into nothingness. Poor Penny Parker back to the spawn room doors. That ultimate gone to waste again. Dissident, a good snipe downtown. Takes Dreyush, but he gets rezzed up immediately. We'll take a look at Speedyburn now. pelting in some of those acorns from downtown. Has the Squirrel Tsunami online. Gonna be looking to let that one fly. Maybe looking for the right angle to do so. Dreyush has a cracking impact of their own. Got to be the primary target here. The smoke grenade comes out from the Punisher to hide the retreat, but the Squirrels, they are looking for blood, and they are going to find it. They are crowded into a corner. Here is Caldwell University. The acorns just raining upon them. Speedyburn gets to the Rocket Raccoon. That is rodent for rodent. Speedyburn gets themselves taken out of this engagement. ADHD looking at who he can protect. So much time just taken off the clock here. A great hold from Post University, but could this be the time they topple over Dreyush? No, the magic sends him back to the spawn room doors. The spider time expended. That's a good ultimate. Caldwell will be looking to maybe press the issue here.
Curious little spiders.
Still, ADHD holds on to this Eye of Agamotto. He's waiting for the perfect opportunity, maybe to get 6 members inside of that.
Down to 30 seconds.
Just 30 seconds remaining. Maybe he goes into the back line, but it is Matty X who goes in the back line, but he's found out immediately. He's been spied out and taken down. Now it's a 5v6 situation. Still the Agamotto in hand. A nice finish. Kraken impact only connects onto 1, but it is the See You Later that does a ton of work. The damage from Dreyush, who switched over to the Hella now. As one tank gone, another tank gone. Dreyush just eliminating the opposition. 2 members, though, remain here for the side of the Eagles. The overtime wick burns. Caldwell, they have to find a way to touch it. They lose too many members in that final engagement. Will anybody be able to touch the cart? Yes, it is. Ebony Princess gets there just in the nick of time, but the focus fire is clean and takes down Able Juicer. Now the Princess has been dethroned. She's back to the spawn room doors, and that is it. Game, set, and match. Game number 2, or match number 2, round number 2, whatever you want to say. Map number 2 goes the way of Post University.
Another epic victory! Big win!
A nice hold there on point number 2. That's where we see a lot of teams, their momentum gets chopped up. And a well-deserved MVP from mewca. 38 assists, my goodness. And an incredible amount of healing as well. 34,000, the most on the board by a long shot. Let's see if I can fix that. There we go. I think that's a little bit better for us. Excellent. But like I was saying, on point number 2, that choke point, that hold around the corner, I mean, the Vanguards can use that corner so effectively to revitalize themselves, get their defensive abilities and cooldowns online, and then re-aggress onto the point. It's really hard to push Herbie along that area. You have to combo your ultimates to great effect to really move that one along. Caldwell not able to get it done this time, but still, one more map potentially to go here. Like we said last time these two teams fought, this was the map that Caldwell turned it around and they won the series 3-2, so certainly not out of it yet. There we go, back to me. Hello once again, everybody. Trying to get myself back to the lobby. Unfortunately, I'm plugged into my Ethernet. I'm plugged into everything, but like I was mentioning, I was having memory issues. About 85% of my memory is being used up somehow. So not sure what the deal is with that. So still working through some of that, so I apologize if the stream is a little bit glitchy. Waiting for one more. There we go. Getting the invite back. This time we will go to the Spider Islands. Tokyo 2099 will be potentially our third and final map, or this could be the start of the reverse sweep. No substitutes coming in for either side. I feel like the bans will probably remain the same. I don't think there'll be any changes. The only thing I can imagine is taking the Bucky off the board. I mean, having is it Torrio on the Bucky has just been too detrimental for the side of Caldwell. They'll have to make some changes, and they are actually doing a substitute here. Microflame will be entering the match. Maybe that's the spark they need to get them going here. All V10 has been doing an excellent job there in the back line. Hasn't been going down early. Has been using their ultimates correctly. I'll be sure to highlight them a little bit more in this round. Been focusing on ADHD's, had the spotlight on him, been holding on to that eye of Agamotto. I think he's still holding on to it to this day. And then, of course, Torrio on the Bucky. I mean, that ultimate is just so fun to watch as it just dissects people left and right. But, Alvi, you'll get your time in the sun, I promise this time. Mad X from Caldwell's letting us know that they're getting their substitute in the voice chat. And we're getting the saves and bans underway. So far, so good here for the Eagles. Their compositions have been pretty standard, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing too tricky. We'll be looking at Dreyush from the side of Caldwell. When they switched over to the Hell, they were getting some things done, especially comboing that with the CYA from the Rocket Raccoon. That does a lot of damage, that projectile hero. There's a reason why she's picked and banned quite often. Next map type should be Convergence, right? The only one we haven't done yet. We've done Domination, we've done Convoy. We need to do Conversion next. That should probably still be on the Tokyo Islands as well. That is a really good... The first point of that map is probably my favorite of it all. Just because there's a lot of different angles. You've got the house on the right. You've got the different pathways, things like that. They got the big choke down through the center. People like to break that building as they come through, things like that. So, definitely one to watch. One of my favorite maps so far in the game. And I'm sure there will be a lot more in the future. If you picked up the orange Venom skin, chat, let me know. Have you done the emote? I've heard it's pretty silly out there on the battlefield. So if you've done that one, definitely send us a clip. Tag us on X. And we'll give you a like. Maddie X from Caldwell. They are going to save magic this time, making sure the mutant is not going to be taken off the board. They'll be able to use that dive hero in this one. Something I'm surprised to see is the Thing not being picked up yet. By either of these teams. I know a lot of good like Magneto Thing combinations have been out there in the professional scene. Not utilized too much by these universities. Thing can be very hard to play. They rate him as like what, a 2-star character in the game, but He's very difficult, actually, because he has no self-peel. He doesn't shield himself, you know, things like that. You have to use your teammates to escape unless you have the Yancey Street Charge available, but usually sometimes you engage with that. So he can be very vulnerable in situations. So if you get caught out, you can get focus fired and then, you know, taken down. So you really have to partner well with your other tank. Right now, post-university, they are saving Bucky, and in the chat they're saying, what else is new? You know the drill. That's kind of maybe the gamemanship piece of it, right? If you can do the saves ahead of time, then it doesn't give the team an opportunity to ban a character that's a one trick or a specialist, right, on a certain hero. So maybe something that the coaches will discuss next time folks invested in the CACC League. For now, though, we have our rule set, and that's what we'll be going with. Magic and Bucky are saved here for our semifinal match. I'll have to check in. I wonder if the scores, I have Wilmington University. We'll see if they are in the chat here. Looks like they are still playing. So look at that. Interested to see how that series progresses. Right now, though, post-university, they are up 2-0. As that I say that reminds me to change the scoreboard. Like I said, I mean, Denny, you're gonna have to send me like an accordion or something so I can do the whole band and the drums, the cymbals, the accordion, the harmonica. I feel like I'm, you know, clicking it all. The teams are working through their bands right now in the chat. Once they get that done, we'll hop into the game. You'll see those go quickly, so that way we can get you into the action sooner. Just as a note of where we're at, Caldwell 3-3, post-university at 2-4. They are playing against each other now in the CACC inaugural semifinals of Marvel Rivals. It's the first time our conference is doing this title. So whoever wins this, whoever wins the final, they get that very special accolade. These teams are going to be fighting, duking it out as best that they can. And then we have our great tournament graphic scene here. We have Goldie Beacom and Wilmington. These are downtown rivals, both in the state of Delaware. And then we have Caldwell and Post University. They'll be looking to see how this one pans out. We've talked about Rocket League a little bit. Post beating Caldwell University in Rocket League 4-1. They move on to the finals. And then Wilmington University, they were able to beat Georgian Court 4-0 in their series. So we'll have a Post versus Wilmington match for Rocket League. The bans are still coming through here. We're looking for one more ban from the side of Post University, and once that happens, we'll be able to hop into the match. We can bring it back to me. Hello, everybody. I'm still in my work clothes. We will see what happens. Yeah, I came home from work, had to stay a little bit later than I anticipated, helping a student, and then had to get the stream ready, and then of course it was broken for a little bit, and my memory was crashing, so didn't have time to change. But hey, semifinal, got a collared shirt on, can't be too mad about that. Looks like our final ban has been entered into the chat, so both these teams will be waiting for that ready button to be pressed. Post University has a very distinct strategy here with the Bucky composition that they've been running. As it's just up to Caldwell. Can they beat it? Can they figure out a way? And that's the hardest part sometimes about playing esports, is how do you adjust on the fly, right? You go through your coaching, you go through your fundamentals, but when somebody throws a wrench at you, how do you work together as a team to figure out a solution, and then can you implement that solution effectively to then force the other team to make an adjustment? So far, Caldwell has not been able to do it, and I'm ready for Bucky to pop off as well. Eli, we are going live. Looks like we will be going to the convoy map type for the Spider Islands, not the convergence type. So all the analysis that I put forward out the window. Thought we had to play all 3 map types, but I was wrong there. We are loading into it. I've lost a game sound, so if you lose game sound, let me know. Interesting. All right, let's see what's going on here. There we go. Game sound is back. We are cooking. Here we go. Magneto and Luna banned for the side of Caldwell University, and Wolverine and Hela taken off the board. They saw what Dreyush was doing on the Hela in that previous match, and they said, not again. Wolverine hasn't really been utilized at all throughout this series. So an interesting band, but one that is not too out of the ordinary. Of course, banning the Luna, always good, right? Prevents Namor. You can still run Namor, but are you going to, right? When you don't have the extra octopus online? Probably not. Maybe go for a different projectile DPS instead.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Post University will be on the attack in this one. Let's see if they are able to push it through all 3 points. That final point here on the Spider Islands can be very difficult to cap. Have to win a fight clean out in order to do so. Going with a standard 2-2-2 composition here is Post. On the opposite side, though,
3, 2,
Caldwell
1.
electing for a 1-2-3 strategy on the defense might be difficult.
That's better.
The tip of the spear can be fragile. Just one tank, especially with the way that Bucky's been playing.
Stop that vehicle in its tracks.
Chaos control.
Dissident, he goes flying off the map. Maybe use the spider grapple in the wrong area. He takes a tumble, but that's okay. He'd be all right with that. He knows he can get back to the battle quite quickly. Speedyburn on the Scarlet Witch.
Better stop that vehicle.
Once again, not one we've seen every day, but one that's pretty good at taking out flankers, right? Because if they do dive, you can attack them, latch onto them, stun them up a little bit, allow your team to focus, and then also can help clean up some kills. Has some good escape abilities. You saw so there.
Feeling stronger already.
Oh, that support very out of position. Original Moon, gotta be careful. Gets the support they need, but that means that Maddie X could not get the healing that they deserved, and they go down. It's now a 6v5. Dissident, oh, he goes diving in the back line to create a ton of space. That allows 2 more members to fall for the side of Caldwell, and now the cart starts to push. 1 domino falls, the rest will go after Speedy. Run, chasing down the Doctor Strange. He gets the health back just in time, but now it is the Bucky player. He launches into him with a swift punch to the face. The Soul Resurgence, it comes out from Crate J to save his tank.
What am I? Control. Feeling stronger already.
The Soul Resurgence expended. That's an ultimate they want to have back, but they don't waste any time. A nice invisible boundary here for the side of the Invisible Woman. They combo it with the Kraken impact to hide the damage. It's a triple. Can he get a quadruple, folks? He was looking for it.
A journey into mystery, yes.
Wow, with a blistering start. Ferocious here are the Eagles, and they're soaring through point number 1. They're looking to take 2 easy.
And so it begins.
Okay. I said this time we would look at Alvi, see how they do. This time supporting Speedyburn and finding that elimination. Original Moon playing very far forward in their composition. I know Invisible Woman wants to brawl with the best of them, but you also have to stay safe. Like we were talking about, support's the most crucial in the entire game here. Those strategists have to be alive. You need that uptime to keep your team in it, keep that cart pushing, or keep that defense rolling.
Armed and dangerous.
And it is. It's Maddie's X's turn to, be armed and dangerous, but he gets eliminated easy. It's Speedyburn gets a triple kill, uses all of the abilities in their kit. That's what we call a hat trick there for the Scarlet Witch.
Now, a disappearing.
Cart hasn't stalled for an instant. Dissident taking a forward position here with the spider bots and put around down those arachno mines as well to cut off the angle. It's the Eternal Bond here. Utilize it. Has to be matched here from Alvi. Well done from them, but they're going deep into the back line. They're staying right into the fray, though. They don't even care. Switching over to the cloak, and they find one in the back line, but 2 go down. And Eye of Agamotto now catches a returning Alvi. The supports do come through. It is the Bucky player using the Kraken impact just to create a little bit of space. And Magic does dive in, though. She's hacking, and she is slashing. A switch over to Cloak, and then back to the dagger to put in some healing as the backline needs some heal. Finally, Caldwell University stands tall. They mount a good defense here right at the end of point number 2. Post University, they're going to be looking to regroup here.
Good thing I was here.
Take this side angle. It's Speedyburn taking down a flanker. Like we were mentioning, that's what Scarlet Witch excels at. A lot of these flankers, they want to be shifty. They want to be hard to hit. Here's ADHD, though. Oh, the legendary boundary put down nicely. If they stay in that, they'll be healed up against that legendary bullets. They're blocking as well. The Eye of Agamotto. Let's see how long ADHD holds onto this one. He goes for it deep. Gets to the Dark Child, though. It now has entered the battlefield. ADHD not able to get the healing as Maddie X running train through the back line. He slices his way through. Well done from him. Forgot to change the camera again.
I'm trying to help.
Post University stalled out once more, but they have plenty of time on the clock. About a minute, 50 seconds here. But it's off the back of Taro. He's been the savior time and time again for this squad.
You are under my spell.
I'm looking for this Chaos Vault, though, from the side of Speedyburn to really put the hurting on the side of Caldwell University.
Must be protected. Everybody.
Look at them. They're chasing down the Doctor Strange. The Eternal Bond matched from both sides. Those two are just like a horses going neck and neck in the race. They are accruing their ultimates at a ferocious pace. They do get a sedation there onto the Winter Soldier, excuse me. But they're going to be looking for the magic. The Scarlet Witch. Now the pure chaos has entered the battlefield. Can it be shielded? Can it be blocked? No, it cannot. 2 go down. The Guardians of the Galaxy eliminated here. And Eye of Agamotto, though, is huge. Connects onto 3 members of the side of Post University. Stunned up and taken down. That's a triple kill for Microflame, the substitute.
This should help me heal.
Speedyburn, sometimes you just got to take the L and jump off the edge, man.
Behold, Darkchild!
Oh, the rest of the team does come back. I believe a portal was used here. A nice angle from the side of mewca, trying to keep the team alive. It's a 1-for-1 trade, though. 2 DPS, or DPS 4 support.
More health is never bad.
at this point, though. I think post-university with 30 seconds on the clock, they might have to just regroup here, go for one final push.
Anyone willing to help?
Yeah, that's not going to do it, unfortunately. Microflame really making his presence known here. But we have Toro. Oh, a nice hook there onto Peter Quill, and he gets him down. But it is an exchange for the cloak and dagger. He's now going for the back line. A good combination takes down the Mantis. She'll be praying to all the gods of the galaxy there. Not able to combo it off of anything. It's Matty X. He's going for Speedyburn. Has to clean up some of these kills. The overtime wish is now burning. Over the top they go. Going in the back line, he probably has Legendary online, and he does. Dreyu, she's looking for a way to use it, but he's being checked here by Speedyburn. That was a great follow-up there. That's what we know the Scarlet Witch can do now. Crate J, he's trying to escape the claws of the Scarlet Witch. He's going to go down.
Double KO.
Oh, the pentagram coming through the portal as well. The rest of the team. An invisible boundary put up here by Alvi, as well as the eternal bond from this side of, Caldwell University. Sorry, so many abilities going on. They have to be matched here. Everybody being hit with the Light Force and the Dark Force. All the ultimates in the world. It is just Bedlam on the point, but it's Microflames who comes up with the goods here to hold it right at the end. Just a few members left, but they are not long for this world. The healing is not enough with only one alive. All be trying to do their best to stall, but there it is. Right at point 2, Caldwell holds.
0, 2, 1.
I believe this is exactly where Caldwell got their momentum last time they played. It can be a really tricky
You'll need a top-notch team to win
point
this
to
one.
cap there. Number 2. They were able to use the portal to perfection there right at the nick of time. I thought that the post-university was going to be able to cap it, but the portal comes through. Let's see if we make up, if there's going to be any switches. ADHD going to the Rocket Raccoon, at least to start. Might change. Let's go for a double tank line here on the defense. Microflames, the substitute, has been a real problem in this one.
Goodbye.
Okay, ADHD does switch to the Rocket Raccoon. I do like that. I mean, combos really nicely with the Bucky, obviously. They want to facilitate one of their star duelists. And then he can combo. He's got the team up with Groot for that extra damage reduction if he so chooses.
I know. How do we keep ending up in these situations? Yeah.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, the lights are lit and away we go.
Our enemies are here. Sometimes you can reason with people.
Only 1 point for post. You can call it 2. I mean, they were right on the line there.
Destination.
Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. We want to get all those points on the board. Right now, Microflame under a lot of pressure. Hooked in, though, is the Groot. He was discorded as well, blinded. Couldn't see anything. That'll create some space for Microflame. The healing has to come through with the triple supports as well. How is Dissident staying alive? Not for much longer. It's Dreyush who comes up with the kill. That allows Matty X to dive into the back line. They're trying to peel for each other. They stave off the advance this time, but post-university forced back.
That's much better.
I am much better now.
Speedy, one of the downfalls of the Scarlet Witch, we talked about a lot of the positives, is that it is kind of tickle damage, right? There's no burst, so if the healers are able to come to the aid, they'll be able to pocket another Kraken impact, though. Doesn't get stopped. It doesn't look like it. You can see those death hold markers coming through, and it's Matty X. Oh my goodness. Cutting through people on that one. He wins that fight clean.
You're welcome.
ADHD, he thought about diving there to maybe stall the point, but thought better of it.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint.
He's going to go back to the rest of his team here. That was a very fast .1 take for the side of Caldwell University. Here is the CYA 4-post. They're going to need to block some people off and get some damage in.
Behold, that child!
Matty X going in with the Dark Child, making everybody turn around. They don't know which way he's coming from. A little bit of healing from the invisible boundary. You know, stems the damage, stems the bleeding there. The Strangle Imprisonment, though, from the Groot locks up a couple, but they aren't able to capitalize. What ultimate can they use if they don't have the Kraken Impact? Speedy trying to look for an escape route here. Not able to find it. The magic chasing him down. Yep, there he goes. This cart is rolling unabated here.
Keep going.
A switch, though. A couple of switches coming out here. Dissident changing over to the Hulk. ADHD on the Loki saying, hey, the Rocket's not getting it done. We need something a little bit better on the board.
By the Eye of Agamotto.
Into the back line, the Eye of Agamotto locks down 2, and that allows Matty to clean them up. 3 gone. That's 4 actually here for Caldwell University. This cart is going crazy fast here through point number 2. Trying to change the camera.
Chaos.
Thank you. This is just a cherry on top. Here's the Kraken Impact.
Again!
Yeah, nothing they could do that. Oh my goodness.
By the Eye of Agamotto.
The Eye of Agamotto from mewca. I think Poro onto the back line. This is you can keep going. You can keep proccing it off of the clones there. That's crazy from the side of Dreyush. He is putting the team on his back, though. There's nobody left from Post University. It doesn't even matter. Nicely done. A great attack, a speed run here from Caldwell, and they are able to win this map. They are clawing their way back into the series. It is now 2-1 here. Just like the scoreline of that map.
Big victory. Big win.
Yeah, no doubt, Matty X. A deserved MVP in this one. How many eliminations did he have? 34, highest on the board. A ton of damage, 23,000. Nobody came close. My goodness. So we'll switch it back over to me. If you're a Post fan, that's a little bit scary. Maybe getting a speck of deja vu. Seeing Caldwell run it back. Let's see how we want to do this. You know, I always get to the like end screen, but I never know how to get back to the lobby. So, back to the lobby, please. Every time I click exit spectate, then it brings me all the way back to the home screen. Then they have to re-invite me again. I mean, it's the whole pain in the butt. Got to do something about this. For now, though, that was really well done from the side of Caldwell University. We'll see how Post will adjust, right? This is part of esports. You have to keep your mental fortitude. Yes, you drop a match, but you know, you got to go back to the next map and try to win that one. You know, you're one game away from taking it all and securing your spot in the finals. Can't get tilted at a time like this. As we go to the tournament bracket screen, we'll see if Wilmington University and the side of Goldie Beacom, if they have finished their match. I believe it's still going. I see all the players in the CACC Discord. Yeah, so far, that match continues to go. Be very curious to see how that one pans out. For now, though, it's the substitute Microflame who's shining brightly in that match, playing on the Vanguard role. The Doctor Strange specifically did a fantastic job of facilitating his team, allowed Matty X to really do a lot of work. I believe we're going to go to another convoy map. Nobody wants to play Convergence, I guess, out here. That's very surprising. From a viewer perspective, definitely a lot more fun, right? Because the card always is moving, it's always battling, you know, whereas Convergence, teams can stall out, might do a full hold, might not cap the whole point, things like that. So definitely, at least with Vanguard, everybody gets a chance to play and try to push the card. So we'll see. Doesn't look like any substitutes yet. Got the league table. Hopefully next season for the fall we get some more squads in here like Georgian Court and the rest of those members of the CACC region. For now, though, 4 inaugural members, as you have listed here, will be ever documented in the history of the conference. And then I'm just going on this screen because these graphics are really, really nice. And we don't always get to show them too often. So whoever puts these together, Denny, I hope it's not you. I hope you have a student who's doing like an internship or a senior project or something that's working on these each and every week for you, but they are really well done. So shout out to whoever puts together the graphics. But we'll switch back to me for the moment as we're waiting for our players to figure out. I think they're going to take just a little bit of a break. And with that, I think I will too. Well, so let's use that Be Right Back screen we were just talking about, and we'll see it in just a few. All right, folks, we are hopping back into it. So we'll head on to Yurgisil. There we go. Convoy map here for you. Seems to be the favorite between these two squads. This time, Bucky not saved from the side. Excuse me, not saved from the side of Post University. Maybe they're trying to mix up their strategy here as we head into map number 4. Wolverine taken off the board again. No surprise there. Scarlet Witch, they said they had enough of Speedyburn's tricks. And then Hela
Right heroes could make
as well.
all the difference.
That allows the Storm to be unlocked. Especially if you take Bucky and Hela off the board. Storm kind of has free reigns in the skies. And there's another combination that we all know and love. The Luna and Namor. Still with the 3-2-1. Or 1-2-3, however you want to slice it. For the side of Caldwell, they're really liking that strategy. And then the classic 2-2-2 for the side of Post. Oh, no, excuse me. 2-1-3. Sometimes, you know, Loki can count as a DPS, just puts in an incredible amount of
They'll be
damage.
coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Now, here's a little bit of a switch up here. We do have Torrio. They are on a Vanguard this time. Especially with the Bucky, maybe that's what they were figuring. They're like, okay, we don't save the Bucky, maybe save Storm instead. We'll go for this composition, and we'll go for attack.
I've always been a heavy hitter.
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
Gonna have my eyes on Dissident. Already spotting out a couple octopi, so he knows Namor is on the board. Right, putting his spears. A lot of players will hold this corner. A lot of teams, right, utilizing the high ground. They had to use the squids, though, to disengage, kind of block some of those bullets, using them as bullet sponges, basically. Now, right in the Micro Flames grill they go. Uses the bubble for himself.
The only squid I want is an appetizer.
Those squids, man, they got to place them maybe in a little different positions to get some value off of that so far. No kills have come through. There's Moon, though, very far forward. We've seen them out of position a couple of times so far. That time not being able to get capitalized. There is the Dark Child. Magic getting caught on some terrain there. No one able to clean up that kill. They do spot him out, though. The focus fire not clean enough, and they get healed up, but that creates some space there for Turo to do a ton of damage. And the Hurricane, the Omega Force Storm is there. She cleans up one, but still some work to do. Matty X on the point.
We are undefeated.
Just causing so much havoc here. Just jumping onto people, attacking the backline. No one can take this Magic down. This mutant reigning supreme. Getting their ultimate online. The Dark Child will do so much damage. Still, they know that to stick onto the card. The invisible boundary expended here. Just adding a little bit of extra healing to get this card over point number 1. 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock here for Post University to do so. They're right teetering on the edge, looking to confirm a few more kills, corralling them into the side room hallway. They're moving forward. There it is. Speedyburn getting their opposite number. A double ultimate exchange here. The Meteor M just crashed down, but it is the fate of two worlds. That is the ultimate I'm looking at. That's the one that can do so much damage. The Meteor M now. They're going to wait for that fate of two worlds to go. It does crash into two. Perfectly timed here from Dissident. Gets a double kill, but his work is not yet over. The deadlift, the Herculean effort still there. He gets another one with the help of his tank that allows the space to be created. And Post, off the back of a massive Meteor, cap point number 1. mewca, they're going to be taking a forward angle here, using that terrain like we talked about.
We better test this out. Better stop that vehicle.
Uh-oh. The Omega Hurricane goes right into the back line. There's no support ultimate. They take down one support. Can they take down two? Yes, they can. Lethality here from mewca. Oh, and then the lightning bolt to boot. Just an exclamation point. Can they get the quadruple? No, Namor does take her out of the sky, but the damage already done. Very impactful ultimate. That is why Storm is taken off the board time and time again. But it's also that layering of ultimates from the side of Caldwell, that economical advantage Post had. They knew it was time to strike. Now they're going to try to get into that chokehold there. Another Dark Child from Matty X. But it is a huge Eye of Agamotto that shuts that ultimate down. Makes Matty look foolish for trying to go in alone. The cart will keep moving. I don't think anybody will be able to touch it here, and they can't. Post University quickly and efficiently cap point number 2. Dissident there with the Meteor M. Goes careening onto the earth, creates a ton of space and a ton of damage. Post University really stepping it up, putting the pedal to the metal.
Better stop that vehicle.
I still need you.
A lamp. Expended maybe a little bit early. He's going to want that one back. It's a very long cooldown to go. Save some of your flankers, some of your divers. But we're looking at, he has the copy now, so that Luna is going to have to be careful. They're going to get that ultimate taken away. An invisible boundary expended here from the side of Post University. The Meteor M goes smacking in the back, but everyone scatters like rats when you turn the lights on, and they're not able to get anyone off of that one. The CYA here on the side of the defense. Caldwell, they know they have to lay in the damage now, burn some of those crucial ultimates. Oh, ADHD copying the Invisible Woman, puts out the invisible boundary as well to put in that healing. The Soul Resurgence here from Mantis. Let's see what they can get done with it. Boosting themselves up, but it's that Omega Hurricane swallows up the Mantis and squishes them. As soon as we put the camera on them, they were not long for this world. Original Moon trying to find the right target, finds a clone instead, but Dreyush on the signature Punisher kill finds a double.
Good medicine. Healing for my friends.
A little extra oomph.
Here they are now.
2 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock here for the side of the Eagles. They're going to be looking to scoop up some prey here. Push this one over the line. A few ultimates in the bank for him. There it is, the Eye of Agamotto. They're looking for Micro Flame, and they find him. Speedyburn with a double kill. Doesn't matter now. It's a combination from Matty. He puts in the Eye of Agamotto, but there's no follow-up, and the lamp is clean. That's that crucial ability that we were talking about. This time it was good from the side of ADHD. That was a very economical fight for the side of Post University. Now they have the Meteor M, as you can see. Dissident utilizing it here. He does get Original Moon caught out of position again. A ton of damage on the Micro Flame as well. And it's all about just creating the space. If they can't touch, the cart will keep rolling, and no one does get there. They sneak around the other side. It's Matty X, the captain of the squad. He's putting his body on the line for the team, but doesn't survive very long. And as the Eternal Bond comes through, the cart tiptoes over the edge. All 3 points for the way of Post University.
Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
And there you go, Galactica kind of doing my job there for me. We will be switching sides here. Caldwell will now be on the attack, Post on the defense.
Relay deployed. It ain't cheap.
Seconds before you attack. Get ready.
We're getting some news from the other side of the bracket. I know that Wilmington has won at least one map,
You can't be that old.
so we'll see
Astral projection makes me feel old.
how they do. But in this one right now, we have Post University with 2, Caldwell with 1. Post with an incredible start here
The battle starts
on
in
Convoy, able to push it all the way to the end.
3, 2,
Now let's see if Caldwell can match that. Crate J, I don't think has picked a character yet. Maybe they've disconnected. A pause maybe could come through.
Face each other again.
Gonna look to switch the camera here to our Eagles. Mewca on the storm. Right now it's a 5v6 situation, but it doesn't feel like it as Speedyburn. They get taken down, maybe a little too close to the flame. double front line of Microflame and Maddie doing a really good job of creating space for their squad. Still, Crate J in the spawn, not picking anybody. Microflame does finally go down. How long will Maddie be able to stand up against this onslaught of bullets? It's mewca, just lightning bolt after lightning bolt.
Let my enemies
Happy to help.
The lamp expended here, and it's not going to be able to absorb the damage from the CYA. A ton of firepower from the Rocket Raccoon. Uh-oh. The Wrath of the Goddess, though, is in. She's looking for some squishies in the back line. And there it is. The Eye of Agamotto expended as well. And just a ton of ultimates. Pandemonium out here on the spawn room gates. The Meteor M expended as well. Squishes Able Juicer. Now it's just Maddie who uses the Ascend to try to escape. He gets whipped back to the spawn room doors. Every ultimate in the bank, it seems. But it's the crucial ones, the supports, that are still maintained here for Post University, and that is going to help against the final judgment of Dreyush. Maddie X, though, has his online, the Eye of Agamotto. Maybe they combo it together. But like I said, that invisible boundary can do extreme work. Oh, a nice dodge there under the bridge. Microflame extends it in the back, but it's all just a bait to get the Eye of Agamotto in. But Maddie doesn't get it off. He gets eliminated before the eye completes. Oh, no. Two big Vanguard ultimates down there for the side of Caldwell University. They're stuck in their spawn room doors. A fury of bullets just pestering on them. Can't breach this siege that Post has kind of pressed up against them.
Any healing is good healing.
Dreyush maybe looking for an off angle, looking for some way in. But it's Maddie X who switched over to the Dark Child. He said it was working for us once, maybe it'll work for us again. But it's that Omega Hurricane that is online here for mewca, excuse me. There we go, the Omega Hurricane immediately onto the final judgment. He's not able to get a single bullet off, it seems, before he gets taken down. It's a good counter ultimate for the side of mewca. My stream frozen once again. Wow. And frozen it was just because of the fury of eliminations coming out from Post University. Now the turret expended here from Dreyush. Lamp, an easy counter to that, just to absorb some of those bullets. Another CYA. Let's see if they can get a good push off of it this time. 30 seconds now here. It's do or die for the side of Caldwell University, and die did Maddie X. He's going to want to revive as quickly as possible if he can. Still 3 seconds for him. The Eye of Agamotto does get one. The Meteor M, though, allows the defense to come through. Nobody gets eliminated there, but it's Dissident who finds his opposite number. Microflame does go down. Another medium end here from Dissident. He knows he has the advantage in the tanking numbers. He goes into the back line and squishes one. That leaves Maddie X on his lonesome. There goes another 3 more members here for the side of Caldwell. Their desperation play. They have to go on the point. They have to touch it to keep the overtime wick for alive. Microflame doing his best, doing his dangest as a Vanguard, but it is the Tornado. The Hurricane once again cleans up the final 2. Maddie X, the captain, trying to lift his team, his spirits, their hopes in this tournament, but he cannot. The overtime wick burns, and it is Post University who emphatically wins map number 4, 3-0. Ladies and gentlemen, your Eagles have soared to victory. They win this series 3-1. They move on to the first ever CACC Marvel Rivals Finals. They technically pull off an upset as they defeat the number 2 seed in Caldwell. And it's none other than mewca who gets the MVP with 48 eliminations, 35 assists, almost as much as some of the strategist players there. I mean, that is why you can run this composition a 3-1-2, just because the amount of damage Storm can do is just nuts. I mean, look at that, 24,000 is incredible. as much as more than all like the healing on the other side. That is just a crazy amount of work and some great counter ultimates from the MVP of that match as well. A round of applause there for Post University. I wonder if we have some updates from the other side of the bracket. It's 2-2 on the other side between Goldie Beacom and Wilmington University. That one is going the distance, ladies and gentlemen, all the way to the 5th and final map. Incredible. Both of these series absolutely immaculate from all of our teams here. The final, no matter who makes it, is going to be one you do not want to miss. And because Post University is in it, we will be streaming it. Hopefully I can get my memory fixed in time so it's not lagging out for you. We have a cleaner visual. But so far, so good. An excellent job here from both of our squads. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm HDPhilly B. It's been a pleasure to spend this Friday evening with you, casting a wonderful match of Marvel Rivals, seeing both of these teams duke it out. Caldwell, we give you a bow and a round of applause as well. A great season it has been.